Coach, before we talk about Saturday's game, let's go back. We haven't had a chance to talk yet this season, 2018 season for the Pirates. A very interesting 3 weeks of training camp for you guys. A lot of issues to overcome, weather, injuries, new guys on the team. Give us your feedback on how you felt like those 3 weeks went for the Pirates, coming together as a team.
Well, I think our coaches and players did an outstanding job managing all of what happened in training camp, things that we could not control. And it was almost a blessing in disguise in some ways, because a coach wants to have a team that can handle adversity, that can buck up when going gets tough. And we were forced to do that almost on a daily basis. So it was great practice for what's going to happen in games and throughout the rest of the season. So I'm really proud of our coaches and the plan they put together to adjust all that and how our players responded.
Talk a little bit about how you had to adjust on the fly as a coaching staff with the smoke issues. Yeah. Whether it was moving inside or just picking up and moving to another city. Yeah. What were some of those adjustments that the staff and you made?
Yeah, again, those things are outside of our control, and when you go inside, it really, really limits what you can get done. From a space perspective, we don't have large indoor spaces here, so you really can't do anything that is extended. You really can't do anything really physical because you're on a hard surface. It's not like we're on an indoor turf. We're on concrete or a basketball gym. So those things are very limiting. It's also very limiting from a filming perspective. So you can't film all that you would like to film outside when you're inside. So thus, those meetings afterwards, we want to get to practice once a day. We have 3 meetings a day. So all of that meeting time is so limited on what you can actually teach and coach up off of. So it's limiting in those ways as well. And then also really hard on our kids physically to be on that kind of surface. So it's just a compound effect. 5 of our first 10 practices were inside. So a 6th day, our staff, some great suggestions by our coaching staff, let's get off campus. And we had a high school that was really excited to host us, and we went down there and got outside of the smoke and had a great practice, and that helped tremendously.
All of that led up to the season opening game this past Saturday against Laverne. Congratulations, a 38-2 victory for the Pirates. What were some of the things that you felt went well for a season opening game?
I think our team handled the adversity that happened in that game. We had a left guard go out on the very first play with an injury, and next guy's up and stepped up, and it didn't seem to disrupt our offense or their flow or their confidence. I think that was really, and there were some difficult situations that we put ourselves in throughout the game that our players responded very well to. We have new kickers and new quarterbacks and positions that everybody watches and sees, and I thought those players really stepped up in that moment and performed like they're capable of, like we knew they could. That was exciting to see. I thought our team played hard. They had a lot of energy, and they played really hard. Didn't play great, made a lot of mistakes, but they played hard.
And what are some of the things that on film you looked at or during the game that you look at that you think, all right, we're going to really need to get to work on these as we prepare for our next game?
Well, one, the whole world saw, we need to become a more disciplined team. We had a lot of penalties, some result of coaches, some result of players. We need to be a much more disciplined football team. We need to get better at tackling on defense, and then we need to value the ball more on offense. I think those are the things that just really jumped out.
Finally, it's pretty unusual to have a bye week after your very first game of the season. What is it that the staff hopes to accomplish with this extra week here?
I think 2 things. You hope to make up some ground for the stuff that we lost in training camp. There's still a lot of work that we need to get done. And then you want to go back to some of the fundamentals. We want to go back to blocking and tackling and just individual techniques and skills that our players need to do. So I think that's going to be a huge focus. And then we'll work a little bit on the discipline issue too.